Welcome to another episode of Preparing for Economic Downturns. Today, we're diving into a topic that hits close to home for so many: the dream of getting rich quick and why it often leads to heartbreak. Just last week, I received an email that stopped me in my tracks. A listener shared a gut-wrenching story about how their family's entire savings, $10,000 painstakingly saved over years for a home deposit, disappeared in just 3 months. They'd been lured into a crypto trading scheme by a friend who promised astronomical returns, the kind that make you think you've found a shortcut to wealth. But it wasn't a shortcut, it was a cliff. The money, meant for a dream home, was gone, leaving behind regret and lessons hard learned. I've seen this story play out too many times, people chasing the promise of instant riches only to lose everything. It's not just about bad luck. It's about a mindset that traps so many of us. We all want to be rich, but nobody wants to get rich slowly. Why? Because slow sounds boring, like watching paint dry. Yet slow is often the only way to build wealth that lasts. Today, we're going to unpack why so many fall into the get-rich-quick trap, what makes it so seductive, and most importantly, how you can protect yourself and build wealth the right way: steadily, securely, and sustainably. We'll explore the difference between trading and investing, why quick wins are so risky, and a practical roadmap for anyone who's lost money or wants to avoid that pain. By the end, you'll have a clear plan to grow your wealth without gambling it away. So, let's get started and learn how to make your money work for you, not against you. Let's start with the basics. The difference between a trader and an investor. A trader is someone who buys and sells assets quickly, often within days, hours, or even minutes, aiming to profit from short-term price swings. It's like playing a high-stakes game of poker. You might win big, but the odds are stacked against you. The risks are enormous because markets are unpredictable, and you're often competing against pros with better tools and information. An investor, on the other hand, takes the long view. They put their money into assets with real, tangible value. Think stocks of solid companies, real estate, or index funds, and let time and compounding do the heavy lifting. It's not flashy, but it's effective. To illustrate, let's use an analogy I call the rock. Imagine you're holding a plain rock worth just a few bucks. Someone comes along and says, "This rock is rare. Buy it now, and tomorrow you can sell it for double." Word spreads like wildfire. Another person chimes in, "No, it's worth 10 times that." Soon, the rock's price skyrockets. Not because it's suddenly more valuable, it's still just a rock, but because everyone believes someone else will pay even more. People start trading it back and forth, prices climbing higher and higher. You might jump in thinking you'll cash out before it crashes. But then, one day, the hype dies. The last person holding the rock realizes there's no one left to buy it, and the price plummets back to a few bucks. That's what short-term trading often looks like, a speculative bubble where prices are driven by hype, not value. When the bubble bursts, most traders are left with nothing but regret. Investing, by contrast, is about buying assets with real worth. Businesses that grow, properties that appreciate, or funds that track the market's steady climb. It's not about betting on a rock, it's about planting a seed and letting it grow into a tree. So why do so many people fall for the get-rich-quick trap? It's not just about money, it's about human psychology. First, there's FOMO, fear of missing out. You see a friend posting about their crypto gains or hear about a hot stock tip that's guaranteed to double your money. Your brain screams, "If I don't act now, I'll miss the boat." That fear pushes you to jump in without thinking. Then there's greed, plain and simple. The idea of turning $1,000 into $10,000 overnight is intoxicating. It's the dream of quitting your job, buying that dream car, or retiring early. Who wouldn't want that? The problem is, greed clouds judgment. You start believing you can outsmart the market or that you've found a loophole the pros haven't. Finally, there's the hype machine. Social media groups, flashy ads, and influencers showing off their lifestyle funded by trading wins. They flash screenshots of 10x returns or talk about how they cracked the code. It's all designed to pull you in, to make you feel like you're one trade away from a fortune. But what they don't show is the other side, the 70 to 80% of traders who lose everything. The truth is, get-rich-quick schemes prey on our emotions, not our logic. They're built to exploit hope and impatience, promising shortcuts that almost always lead to dead ends. Let's ground this in hard facts. The Financial Conduct Authority in the UK reports that 70 to 80% of retail traders, regular people like you and me, lose money within their first 12 months of trading. That's not a typo. The vast majority don't just break even, they lose. Why? Because trading is a zero-sum game in the short term, and you're up against algorithms, hedge funds, and market insiders with far more resources. Now, compare that to investing. The S&P 500, a broad index of the largest US companies, has delivered an average annual return of 8 to 10% over the past 50 years. That's not a guarantee, but it's a track record built on real economic growth, not speculation. If you'd invested $1,000 in an S&P 500 index fund 20 years ago and left it alone, you'd likely have $5,000 to $7,000 today, even through recessions and crashes. In Vietnam, patient investors in index ETFs have seen similar results, growing their wealth 5-7 times over 2 decades, despite market dips. The catch? You have to stay in the game and resist the urge to panic sell when markets wobble. The data is clear. Slow, steady investing beats gambling on quick wins every time. If you've lost money chasing quick riches, don't despair. You can recover. Here's a 6-step checklist to get back on track. First, stop trading impulsively. Take a break, breathe, and commit to no new trades until you've regrouped. Second, assess your losses honestly. It hurts, but accept that the money is gone. Think of it as tuition for a valuable lesson. Third, build an emergency fund covering 3 to 6 months of living expenses before you invest again. This safety net protects you from having to sell investments at a loss if life throws a curveball. Fourth, educate yourself. Learn to read financial statements and understand key metrics like PE ratios, price to earnings, and ROE, return on equity. These tools help you spot solid investments, not hyped up rocks. Fifth, start small with low-risk options like index funds or ETFs, which spread your money across many companies, reducing risk. Sixth, adopt dollar-cost averaging, DCA. Invest a fixed amount every month, no matter what the market's doing. This smooths out price swings and builds wealth over time. Follow these steps, and you'll move from panic to progress, building a foundation for lasting wealth. Let's look at 2 real-world examples. First, meet John, who dove headfirst into trading gold and oil futures. For one glorious month, he was up 50%, feeling like a Wall Street genius. But then, an unexpected geopolitical event tanked prices, and John lost everything, his entire $5,000 investment overnight. He was devastated, not just financially, but emotionally, second-guessing every decision. Now contrast that with Sarah. She took a different approach, investing in blue-chip stocks and ETFs, putting in $500 a month for 10 years. Her portfolio wasn't flashy, but it grew steadily. After a decade, her $60,000 in contributions had grown to $240,000, quadruple her input, without debt or sleepless nights. The difference? John chased quick wins. Sarah played the long game. Trading isn't inherently bad. It can be profitable for those with elite skills, ironclad discipline, and sophisticated risk management. But for most of us, it's a losing game. We don't have the time, tools, or nerves to compete with the pros. Investing, while slower, is safer and more reliable for building wealth that you can count on. In a world obsessed with instant gratification, building wealth slowly is a radical act. When markets are turbulent, the temptation to chase quick riches grows stronger, but so do the risks. Everyone wants to be rich, but true wealth comes to those who are patient, disciplined, and willing to let time work its magic. Don't let greed or fear drive your decisions. Instead, educate yourself, start small, and stick to a plan. Let your money grow like a tree, not a bubble. If this episode helped you see wealth building in a new light, share it with a friend or family member. Help them avoid the costly mistakes that come with chasing get rich quick. Together, we can build a future where financial security is within reach. Not a dream sold by hype, but a reality built on patience.